Hi everyone, today we have a new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from Miniart, and of course it comes in 1/35 scale. So here we get a special car, so it's a Liefer Prechen Wagen Typ 170V, and as you can see, this time we get the version with the canvas over the rear bed. So we reviewed the pickup version, now we have the, let's say, covered version, and it might be an interesting build for modelers who are tired from the military vehicles, military equipment. Here we get a civil vehicle in a popular 1/35 scale, so you can combine it with some diorama ideas, maybe some diorama items, maybe even from Miniart as well, because they have quite large range of such projects. So we have the commercial sample here, and it means that's the final shape of this release, and you will get exactly the same stuff as what you'll see in this video review. So for example, you can order it in Modelimex, which have all their recent releases in whatever scales, and as you remember, they released in 1/35 and 1/48, and also they are going to work in 1/72 scale, but that's something to talk in a separate video. So the box size here is typical for such release. Here is comparison with my hand, and the kit number is written there. It's 38072. Here on the side you'll find also some safety information and info about the manufacturer, as well as the barcode and QR code. And here on the opposite side you can see also, let's say, the decals map and the sign of the cartograph, and of course all of the marking options. So here we have 4 of them, which is more than enough for the civil car in my opinion, and of course you are free to find some reference material and copy something different in case you would like to have to build something unusual. So that's the top opening box, and inside, as you can see, we have all frames packed into one sealed plastic bag, and also we have the assembly manual on the bottom. Obviously we will start with the plastic parts. So here I can see that such kit might be familiar to modelers who already assembled Type 170V from Miniart, or maybe they saw our video reviews. Then you definitely recognize some parts, so just give me a few seconds and you will see what I'm talking about. In the meantime, I can also remind you that you can check other reviews with versions of this week on our YouTube channel as well, so just type it into the search and you'll see all of the possible options. So what we have here, I would like to start with the gray plastic spruce, and then we will continue with various add-ons. So this is the sprue HD, and here we have the vehicle lower section. So I would rather zoom in so that you can see this, let's say, a lower platform. As you can see, it's molded together with the rear and front fenders. And we also have this specialized bracket, I would say, for the front seat. Next, we continue also here with the firewall and the roof section. So because we have the pickup, that's why we get it molded this way. And here you can see also the rear wall, which will be combined with this part. So overall, I would say that's quite a logical parts design, so nothing unusual. And here, by the way, you can see the front seat. And I'm saying the front seat, but basically this is the only seat. I'm just used to say this after the 2-row versions of this vehicle, but obviously here we get only 1 row. And here on the opposite side you can see also some features for the lower section of the vehicle, but obviously we'll add more. Just be sure to delete all of these push marks. They are also present here, so they will not be visible on the finished vehicle, but still this is something to take care of. Next we continue with the sprue D and E. So these are 2 interconnected sprues, and as you can see we get 2 of them. So I will show you on the one because they carry the same set of parts. And here you can see that we get the wheels in a quite unusual design. We are used to see the plastic wheels as a single piece parts. Here you have to assemble the tire out of separate sections. This is also quite a smart design because you won't see any seams and gaps between those parts as long as you assemble it properly. And we have the guiding elements, as you can see, so it will be properly positioned. And of course we have some features on the tire walls, which is also quite important. Here we continue with the sprue D. So this one I will show this way. Here you can see also we get some seats, and I think those will not be used, these separate seats, but we get some interior parts and also some headlamp cases, which if I flip them over, here you can check what we have inside. I think there was a lamp pre-molded. No, not in this release, so I will show it just so that you understand what I'm talking about, but still it's a quite nice molding quality, and it might be a good idea to spend some time on properly painting those headlamps, because it's quite a visible part of the vehicle and it will be really noticeable on your car. What I'm checking right now is those panels on the separate sprue. So those are panels for the rear section, and as you can see, they should be quite easy to combine together. We also get really nice I would say details which imitate this stamped surface. As you can see, it's both from inside and outside, because they will be visible on the finished vehicle, even though we get the covered version of this pickup, but still it's quite nice. And as far as I remember, Miniart also offers an option to open these panels, which is also quite handy. Next is this sprue C. So here we get the doors, and we will need only the front doors, because as you remember, we get only the front cab, but still really nice details. And of course rear doors might come handy in some different ideas for assembly. Maybe you can place them as a spare parts in the rear section of the car, and here you can check those parts from the opposite side. So we get those raised edges. They will act as a guiding elements for placing the interior panels inside. Next, we have the sprue B, and here I will have to zoom out a bit, because here we get the suspension parts. We also get some drivetrain parts. For example, engine is included here, which is really nice, because it's a 1/35 scale vehicle, so you might get this feature to be used in some diorama ideas, but it will be up to you if you would like to do so. Still, it's better to have it included than not to have it included. And of course, I am always impressed with this feature. So here you can see these springs, which are plastic, they're not metal. I know some models are actually replacing them with a metal wire, which is curled as a spring, but it's up to you. I think even this plastic version is looking good, as long as you carefully separate it off this frame. Next, we continue with the new part. So this is obviously the this tarpaulin section. As you can see, the overall surface details look quite convincing. Maybe I will zoom in even closer so that you can see those features. And this top section is molded as a single piece part. As far as you can see, this frontal section can be assembled separately. And here inside you can see we do not have, well, we actually have the minor push marks here, but I think they will not be visible once you install this part in place. Next, we continue with the sprue A. So that's the last gray plastic sprue. And I would say it's a universal frame, because as you can see here, we get the parts for the saloon version of this vehicle. It means this four-seater car, but we also get some interior parts. We get the separate bonnet panels, and also this main chassis, which is molded as a single piece part, which is quite cool because you get the right alignment out of the box. So this is really useful in such build, and of course it will save you some time as well. Next, we have the small envelope with Miniart logo. So here we have unpainted PE fret, which offers you a choice. I think it is a choice, because I think there is also a radiator grille made out of plastic, but here you can get the radiator grille mesh made out of PE parts. Obviously it will be a bit more tricky to install, but it will also give you a bit more realistic appearance in this scale. In my opinion, this is quite important thing in such build, in this sizing, but of course it requires a certain skill from you. So be ready for such challenge. This is definitely not an easy thing in my opinion, so do not underestimate it. Next, we continue with the clear frame. So I will remove this PE fret, and clear frame comes in a separate plastic bag. So here we get a really nice molding quality. All parts look really nice. and the only thing you have to source is the masks, because masks are not included in Miniart kits. There are not even the masking templates included, so that's why be ready to cut your own. And then we continue with the decals. Here I can close the lenses a bit so that it will be visible for you. Decals are coming from cartograph, as you remember, and here we get various symbols which will be placed on the car. Really nice printing quality, and I'm trying to find now the decals for the interior, and surprisingly I do not see them, the dials for the interior. So I wonder how they will be copied, because here, as you can see, we get mainly the external symbols, and that's pretty much all. Okay, so in this case, let's move to the assembly manual, which is printed as a large brochure. So here I will have to zoom out, close the lenses even more. So this type of brochure should be familiar if you already worked with Miniart kit. And we start straight away with the marking guide for 2 marking options, which are quite colorful. Next, we continue with the parts map. I hope you remember that Miniart does not show unused parts, so be careful and pay attention to which elements you will be using, but still assembly process here starts with an engine, and I think you will be using PE parts straight away, so be ready for that. Next, we continue with the main chassis, and note also the small suggestions for the further improvements which you can make with help of your own metal wire. It is not included into the box, but you get the right dimensions which you should cut and install in various places. This is a really useful upgrade in my opinion. In 1/35 scale it's visible, so I definitely recommend to try it. And then we continue with the suspension, exhaust. Exhaust is assembled out of several parts, as you can see. Next, we continue by installing the exhaust onto the main chassis front bumper, also this lower plate of the car body. And then we have the fuel tank. Here we assemble the front cap. And as you can see, there are a lot of features in the front cap. And here I see that actually some decals are mentioned, but I do not see them on decal sheet. So I wonder where they are. It's written number 08 decal, and I can see that there is no such decal. And you can maybe I will just show it so that you don't have to go back in the review, but as you can see here, I do not see such decals. Maybe they will be printed in the assembly manual, who knows. But here, as decals, we do not get them. So next we continue with the rear base, and then we assemble some of the bonnet parts. So yes, radiator grille will be copied only with the PE part, so be ready for that. Then we continue with the doors. You also get an option to assemble the vehicle with an open bonnet. And then we proceed with the doors, which can be also positioned open. And here you can see the assembly process for the tarpaulin. So you get 2 versions, closed or the open, which is really nice. And then we install it onto the place on the rear bed. I can see that some PE parts will be used for the open version. You can notice them in the corner, but I think it's not a difficult task to do. And here we have the colors chart, 3rd marking option, which is also on the box art, and the 4th marking option from French occupation zone from early 1950s. So this vehicle should be already available, as I said before. You can get it in Modelimex. In my opinion, this is a really cool thing, and I'm really glad to see that Miniart is getting more and more assembly options into their kits. And of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion about such release. Do not forget to write it here in the comment section below. And if you like this video, press the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.